Hi everyone, this is Athena again, and today I want to talk about mindfulness. Why mindfulness? Because it has changed my life in a good way. Like, it changed so much of how I see things, how I act, how I feel. It changed a lot. Okay, let me start with what mindfulness is. Mindfulness, in the word itself, mindful, being aware of yourself, of the things that are happening in your body, the thoughts that come. Right, let me just search the mindfulness, real definition of mindfulness. Right. Mindfulness is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. Right, yes. That's it. It really helped me in so many ways. I've been acting better. It helps me kind of do things more in a better way, in the right way. I get to make lesser mistakes because I'm being mindful, Right, so I've come across this term a long time ago, but I never really thought about it, what it is, what it means, how to do it, until my therapist mentioned it when I was going through something really hard in my life. And he told me to practice it. So, for example, when you feel angry, he wanted me to observe what happens to my body when I'm angry. So if I'm angry, my chest is a little bit heavy. So I notice that, and I notice that my face gets warm. I notice that as well. Or when I get triggered, my ears tend to close up. And so analyzing those things, like for example, ears trying to close up kind of means, you're blocking off what people might say, and you deafen yourself to being rational. So being aware and conscious in every moment helps you ease out of that certain emotion that is trying to possess you. It's really good because once you try to observe the things that are happening in your body, the less you feel that emotion, because then now you're focused on something else. It's kind of a distraction in a way, but a good kind of distraction. But I guess I'd rather use the term perspective or attention to something else. Yeah, it's been really good for me because it's been months since I started doing it, and I've gotten better and better at it, and it's been really good for me to be aware in every moment about what I feel, and I could define that at each moment, and I could somehow introspect right away the things that come up in my head. Like for example, if you like someone, right? And then, right, like one day I was thinking, trying to impress the person, and I was like, I just, was aware that I was thinking that, and I was like, and I then asked myself, why do we have that mentality to impress someone we like. People would say, that's fine, it's normal, but normal doesn't mean it's healthy, right? And we shouldn't do that, because that only puts you in a sort of pedestal. That's not going to be who you are for the rest of your life if you're going to be with that person or whatever. It's just putting a mask on, a shiny mask on, and it's going to be hard to keep up after a while. And then you just change. In the eyes of that person, you change, because in the first place, that's not who you are. So yeah, that's one of those thoughts that come up. And right, so mindfulness leads into, or gives way for, introspection. And it's such a good practice to do, because then you get to know yourself better. And the more you know yourself, the more you get to be confident in things that you do, say, or think about. And then you get less conscious, you get less insecure, and a lot of the things that you would feel off about, it wouldn't be called paranoia anymore, because you're aware, you're conscious, and you know yourself. You have these definite roles or definite definitions of each of those things. Am I still making sense? I hope I am, because this is a really wide topic, and I think this is going to be a long video. But yes, mindfulness is so good. I hope everyone can practice this. I really recommend that you do it, because it helps you kind of learn about yourself and who you are in each situation, who you are with people, who you are when you're alone with yourself. And once you understand yourself in each of those situations, then you can identify your patterns. And once you've identified your patterns, then you can introspect on the reasons behind them, and then things that are holding you back, you can let go, because then you catch those, and then you realize a lot of things that are helpful and not helpful for you. So and because of those things, you get to be more confident, right? And then you get to be confident enough to let go of the things that don't serve you anymore. And then in a sense, you will get to a place where you'll understand what you've been doing wrong, why you have been having the same results over and over. And then you'll find yourself knowing what you deserve. How, in a sense, to get it. How to be a certain way to be in that place of well-serving place. I hope I'm making sense. Right, yeah. It's just been so amazing. Like, for example, because I've been more aware with myself, I've been cutting down on a lot of the things that I should be doing and thinking. Like, for example, treating myself really well. You know, honestly, I haven't been doing that right, because I do indulge in vices, but mentally speaking, the way I talk to myself has changed immensely, in a great way, because of the mindfulness. I get to talk to myself how I want people to talk to me, or even better, you know. I don't expect anything from other people, because it's always a projection of who they are as a person, not about me. But, right, so I'm in a place now where I'm so conscious, maybe not as conscious as I want to be yet, but I'm happy where I am, because I'm so conscious about everything, almost everything that pops in my head. and almost everything, I catch them and I get to understand my psyche, and I internalize those things and the situations that have happened in my life, what I got myself into, where I am, my relationship with other people. And it's just been, I've never had this much clarity in my life. I've never had this much clarity. And it's sad, that we really never fully know ourselves. Because we should. Because if we don't, that's where the paranoia comes in. That's where the insecurities comes in. That's where, and those things always leads to mistakes, guilt, heartbreaks, and that, because we put up these expectations and these ideas and the love for those ideas, the likes for those ideas, instead of looking at the reality of the whole thing and yourself in that reality. I really hope I'm making sense here. I really recommend all of you would practice mindfulness, because it clears the path to becoming and understanding you as a whole. And when you understand yourself as a whole, you get to know your truth on how you want to place yourself in each person's life, whoever you want in your life. You get to know the proper boundaries you want to set up for different people and yourself. Once you fully are aware of yourself in each moment, you're conscious of yourself in each moment, you're not going to be afraid. I mean, we're human beings. We're always afraid. There's fear. There's always fear, right? It never goes away, but it's what you do in those situations. Like with mindfulness, you get to, because you know yourself, you get to know how to deal with each situation. If you can handle that or not, what to do, fight or flight, like kind of instant knowing of what to do once you get in a good relationship with mindfulness. Let me give you an example of how things have gotten better for me, things that I've noticed about myself, my body. So these days, I don't eat 3 times a day, because I've realized that back then in the tribes, they never ate 3 times a day. They only ate when they had hunted something. Yeah. But hold on. Yeah. So right. Oh, whatever. But yeah. So if I only eat when I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, if I eat when I'm not hungry, and I eat more than I should, I feel like my body is in a weird state, and it's just trying to digest it, and my mind is kind of cluttered because it's taken in more than it should. I find that when I eat only when I'm hungry, my mind is clearer. I can think better. One of those things that you notice, also, for example, like let's see, when I talk to people and then these ideas pop in my head, like these programmed ideas pop in my head, and then I think like, wait, hold on, that's not me. That's not my truth. That's not what I feel is right. But I grew up with that kind of mindset. But I know that's not me, kind of thing. You know? Okay, this might not make sense, but when you reach a certain relationship with mindfulness, you will get what I'm trying to talk about. You'll know yourself so well that you will know whatever comes in your head, if it's you or not. You know, you get it? Like, because we're easily influenced. We're human beings. We grab what we like from other people and then make it ours, right? We like that because we adapt. That's how we adapt. But that's not a bad thing. But sometimes we also adapt to things that are not healthy, like certain mindsets, fears, paranoia. Yes, so now these days I find myself in thinking mode. No, not thinking mode. I find myself in situations where something pops up into my head and it's a negative mindset, and I just tell myself, like, sometimes when I catch it, I'm telling myself, that's not me. And then I drop that and let it go. And it's been such a good practice for me because I'm I'm enhancing, I'm bringing out more of who I am, my truth, who I am as a person, uniquely, unapologetically. I don't know how you pronounce it, but yeah. And it's just been so kind of rewarding in a sense, because I tend to worry less now because I know myself more. I know myself better. Like, I'm in a very uncertain situation right now, and if you knew my situation, a normal person, I'm not saying I'm not normal, but usual person would be depressed and kind of spiraling down, hopeless, helpless. But because of my parents' influence and therapy and my will to not stay in that place, I've reached to a state of whatever is around my situation, I try to be happy. That's my intention every day, to be happy in every moment, no matter what. It's really hard. It's been really hard because, you know, you're a human being. You can't help worry sometimes because you do want to get what you want. And sometimes, you know, you really need to get what you need, and that's somehow sometimes kind of not tested, rocked. That foundation is rocked. And it makes you worry because, you know, you think, oh gosh, what am I going to eat if I don't have money anymore and stuff? You know? It's a terrible place to be in. But yeah, I'm in a state where I am not forcing happiness, but I am accepting it and choosing it over and over and over. Especially in small, mundane moments. Not mundane. Small, normal moments. Like as easy as when you're late for a meeting and, like time is slower because you're always looking at the time and you're like, you're worried and you're thinking about it, you keep thinking about it. And in those times, things happen, sometimes you get late. I just try to enjoy the moment. Like, look at, for example, I'm on a bus, just look at the scenery or observe other people. As long as you don't really stare, because, that's rude. But, yeah, like, learn to see the good things in everything. If you're late, you're worried about it, you can't do anything about it. You're already late and you're already going there. Might as well just let the person know, apologize, mean it, and just enjoy your time. Worrying doesn't solve anything. Worrying helps no one. Or what else? The situations like that. I can't think of another one right now. But as simple as situations like that. People get so upset by little things, especially older people. I mean, maybe people my age. I'm not sure, but here in London, I see a lot of people getting upset by the smallest things. Seriously, I can't. Smallest things ruin their day. Like, somebody didn't cook the rice right, and then because that ruined their day, the projection of that anger is projected to someone else, and then that's a domino effect, and that someone else is angry because this person got angry at him, and then now that anger is projected to someone else, and it's a domino effect. Once we realize everything that we do affects everyone, being mindful of our actions, then we'll start to do things differently. Once we think beyond ourselves in that mindful setting, in the mindfulness practice, be less selfish, we get to change everything. The world, how people think, how people do things. It's gonna be more peaceful. Seriously, if everybody does this, it's gonna be so peaceful. It's gonna be less anger, more love. Yeah, imagine a world like that. If everybody just practiced this. It's hard to do because it's not taught. It wasn't taught like years back. There's been people teaching it, but it's not taught in schools, or at home. Some families do, but the lucky ones. As for us, we do come across it, I guess, by luck as well. Influence, and it's also attention, right? Because with mindfulness, we learn not to judge moments. with mindfulness, we learn not to judge people how we usually judge them. Because we understand ourselves, and we try to understand ourselves, and once we start doing that for ourselves, that's going to be projected to other people. Because we've learned to do that, then we practice it, and then we do that on other people as well. Like, knowing the need behind each of our emotions, each of our thoughts, each of the actions that we do, if we internalize those, we think about ourselves, how we care about the people we love, we project that on other people, having practiced that for a while, and then we just bring understanding, You get to learn how to understand other people, and because of that, you get to learn how to connect the right way, the old way, how we used to connect, not on like Facebook and this internet thing. I mean, it's a good thing for long distance relations, but I guess, yes, you can use mindfulness in these digital communication devices, apps, or whatever. But, yeah, basically I'm saying mindfulness can change the world. But it starts with you. It definitely starts with you. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be work. It takes a lot of work. I shit you not, it's really worth it. I tell you, it's so worth it. And you can use this as a weapon for every situation that you can come across. With the intention of being happy is good too. All the time, no matter what. People might call you delusional or in denial, but no, it's not. It's choosing to see the better side of things, but also knowing that there's this negative side and accepting that. It's not denying. You're just, like I said, every day, it's a choice. Every moment is a choice. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to be better. You can choose to be kind. You can choose to be simpler. You can choose to be frugal. You can choose to be a good person. It's a hard road. It's a hard choice. That's a choice that can give you peace of mind. And that's really worth it. In my own personal experience. And I can tell you, it's been really it's been helping me mentally better understand myself and the people in my life and the situations. And it's honed my empathy, sympathy skills. And it's been really helpful and healing for the people in my life that I still interact with. And I've never been this happy in a healthy way. Yeah, it's been so healing for me doing this. But yeah, this is already almost 30 minutes, so I'm gonna cut this. Maybe I'll talk about mindfulness again in another video that's more with structure, because this is just me ranting about mindfulness and what I've experienced with it and what has been happening and stuff, just a little bit. But maybe I should write notes about it first. But this has been a good rant for me. Yeah, so do mindfulness. It's really good. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you for watching. I hope you take a lot of things about this topic. Do search about it. Okay, that's all. Bye.